Hello, I am Ashley. Welcome to my space here. Today I'm going to be doing my weekly tarot Tuesday energy update, and this is an extended reading for the post on my Instagram and my blog post for the two cards that I have pulled for this week, which are the Lovers and Water Guardian. Connect with your emotions. So I love that these two cards kind of came up together because right away I felt the energy of Archangel Gabriel. He's associated with the throat chakra. So I felt like there's this lot of this wanting and this desire to express, maybe when it comes to love or in relationships. I kind of picked up that with the Lovers is like there's this desire to maybe communicate more clearly in relationships, to communicate more lovingly, to communicate more from a place of like truth and from like your authentic self rather than from like this surface level of like pretending you don't have any emotions. That's kind of what I was picking up. It's like to stop running away from your emotions, especially the emotions that are brought up in our relationships, because a lot of the times, and actually as I'm tapping into this collective energy, so I want you to remember this reading is collective, so take what resonates, leave the rest. Some messages may apply for you, some may not. I talk about masculine and feminine energies, but I want you to know that when you come to this channel, that gender does not apply here. I use maybe he and she for a easy way to describe. And the time just caught my attention, which is 12:12, so that might be a synchronicity for you as well if you want to look that up. But generally 12:12 for me is associated to purpose, so there could be purpose revolving around relationships, and in my opinion a lot of our purpose is to relate and to grow and expand our idea of love based on our relationship. So learning how to love more unconditionally, learning how to love from a deeper level rather than from like this surface level that we've kind of been taught via society to love each other based on what we see on the outside. Like we have this checklist, like as women, I want him to have like a good job, and I want him to be tall, dark, and handsome. I want him to have like all these external factors, but really what we're learning how to do is to be our own man or to be our own woman, vice versa. If you're a male and you're watching this, it's really about finding this wholeness within yourself. And I really love the Connect with Your Emotions card because it's really about tapping more into our divine feminine energy. And it's important to remember that even if you're a man, you have this divine feminine energy within you. It's our emotions. Our divine feminine is our emotions. So picking up right away is that like our emotions are our teachers, and our relationships are our greatest teachers. Like I was saying, the emotions that certain relationships evoke in you are very powerful, and they can help you learn more about who you truly are on a deeper level as a soul, rather than using these relationships as like surface level survival needs, whereas like needing to depend and being really attached to relationships. But we're really learning in this paradigm shift and how to relate in a new ways that love is expansive, love is liberating, love is it doesn't cling, it doesn't attach, and it really goes with the flow, which is like our emotions. And connecting to this water card, I just love this card because I think it's just beautiful, this beautiful color of blue. And it says connect with your emotions. So you might have been taught, and our society has taught us to ignore our emotions, especially men. Little boys, they're taught to be like tough, and or like women, they're not really allowed to express their emotions of like anger. So maybe we deny this anger, but anger is really passion. And when we really tap into our anger and we dig below the surface of anger, we see that it's passion, and generally it's that passion to change, to do something different, to be more authentic, more true to who you are, to express your feelings. And I kind of get this energy of expression. So channeling your emotions into art, channeling your emotions into movement, channeling your emotions into from storing them in the body into bringing them into life, because our emotions are like underneath the surface. They're like little treasures that we get to uncover, that we get to dig up, and we get to bring them to the light, and we get to share those treasures with the world. We get to share those treasures with our relationships. And when we know ourselves more intimately, when we know ourselves more deeply on an emotional level and not just on a surface level, like who we've been told to be, who we've been told to act, like how we've been told to act at a very young age and to behave in a certain way, really it stifles, I don't know if that's even the right word, that's the word I hear, it like stunts our growth as a soul, because the soul is emotions. The soul wants to expand, and it's emotional depth. It doesn't it doesn't care about surface level things. It doesn't care about people's jobs. It doesn't care how many, it doesn't care about how much money your partner has or how much money's in the relationship. It cares about connection. And I feel like that's the message here, is to connect more deeply with ourselves. And when we connect with this inner masculine and feminine, we feel this sense of wholeness. And that allows us to relate more deeply to other people. We're not just relating to them based off what we need from them. We're connecting to them based off this unconditional love, or this bond that we feel towards them. And if you're noticing that in your relationships, all you feel is like a surface level connection. One, you can dig deeper. You can make your relationship have more depth, but also maybe you're in the wrong relationship and it's time to reevaluate and look at what your emotions are teaching you. And how do you feel? Your emotions are like your guidance system, your GPS, so you can trust your emotions. But it's important to remember that fear is also an emotion. So it's like you don't want to listen to the fear. Fear will feel very heavy, and that's kind of the energy I'm picking up with these cards, honestly. It's like I feel this heaviness on my back, this tension on my back, like I'm carrying a lot. So you might be carrying a lot of emotions that maybe aren't even yours. Maybe you were taught at a very young age to emotionally carry like your parents' emotions. Maybe you're an empath, or you're highly sensitive and you picked up these emotions, or maybe you're picking this up from the collective and you're feeling lots of grief. Maybe you're feeling lots of heaviness. Maybe you're feeling lots of stress. And what this is saying is that it's time for you to release these and let these go and allow yourself to be supported so that you can move with the flow. It's like this weighing down. It's like, I'm just feeling this person, I'm seeing actually this image of this person like swimming in the sea of emotions, and they're just like barely keeping their head above water because they're fighting against their emotions. Like they don't want to feel these certain emotions, and so they're fighting against it. It's like resistance, and so it's like that makes you struggle even more. And it's like creating this energy of like feeling like you're drowning, like you can't get any air. That's kind of what I'm feeling. It's like this crushing feeling. So if you're feeling any like crushing, any heartbreak, any lower based emotions, that's okay. Just know that they aren't permanent. Your emotions are not permanent. They're, they ebb and they flow. And that's kind of the message here, is that we're going to ebb and flow between these masculine and feminine emotions, and we're going to be caught up in the riptide. We're going to get sucked into our emotions. We have to remember that when we're in those emotions, they're temporary, and how we speak to ourselves, how we talk to ourselves, how we care for ourselves in our deepest, most challenging emotions really is like our masculine energy. And can we be supportive towards ourselves when we're in that emotional state? Can we encourage ourselves? Can we uplift ourselves? That's our masculine energy. That he's the container. Our internal masculine is like our container, and can he hold that safe place within ourselves while we're deeply immersed in our feminine energy, our emotions, and not judge, not criticize, not put down, not run away, not like gaslight. That's kind of like our inner masculine. So if you were ever gaslit as a child, and like when you would express emotions and your parents would maybe tell you to get over it, or that it's not that big a deal, that's gaslighting. So what you'll do inside your own mind is gaslight yourself every time you experience emotion that was denied as a child. You'll start to deny this emotion. You'll tell yourself, no, you're not really feeling this, when really you truly are. And if you don't, it'll begin to weigh you down. And that's when you feel like you're suffocating and when you're drowning. And to allow yourself to feel that emotion, to express, to cry, to write, to feel, to go to therapy, to talk to a trusted loved one, to talk to a trusted friend, to seek a therapist, to seek a healer, to seek somebody to help you move through these emotions with the best of intentions, with gentle ease, compassion, love. That's your feminine energy. It's like remothering ourselves this week, refathering ourselves. So reparenting is really important this week, it feels like, to really balance these energies within us so that we feel very anchored and stable, like our masculine energy, while we're also in our emotions, because our emotions are our guidance system. Our emotions are our eternity, their divinity. So when this body, the physical body, ceases to exist, the emotions will still be there. We just won't have the mental labels, the descriptions of what we're feeling. We won't have the mind anymore, but we'll still have the emotions. That's the part of us that's eternal. That's why it's so important to connect to our feminine energy. And because that really teaches us how to cultivate faith, how to tap into our divinity so that we don't feel alone. We feel this sense of connection. And it says here, connect with your emotions. When we feel this connection, right, we feel this connection within our own being, within our own masculine and feminine energies, then we can connect more deeply with the world, with people in general. So that's kind of what I'm picking up for the energy overall this week. The lovers could be represented by Gemini, so you can take that if that resonates. for you at all. That's an air sign, but then also like water. Like I was saying, this is a very beautiful card. I like this here. So it's really important to connect to water. If you live near a body of water, to drink plenty of water, to take salt baths, to listen to the sound of music. I actually have some music going right now of the waves, of like the ocean waves hitting the shore. So that can be very healing and very therapeutic, especially if you're going through a lot of emotions right now. So if your emotions are high, if you're feeling any lower vibrations, it's important to remember to feel those, because the more you don't feel those lower vibration energies, the more you attract more of that lower vibration. So in order to pull yourself out of these lower vibrations, you have to be more encouraging towards yourself. So really pay attention to your inner dialogue and how you speak towards yourself during this time of emotions, of like grief or loss or fear, like listening to yourself and not beating yourself up necessarily when you're in those moments, but remothering yourself, refathering yourself, and talking to yourself with loving kindness and encouragement to get yourself through those emotions, rather than saying get over it, or like it's not that big a deal. Like, no, truly sitting there and tending to them so that you can then move with the flow and you release that heaviness like that you're carrying on your back. Like, it just feels like a ton of bricks weighing you down. It's like as soon as you can release those emotions and actually feel them and express them and allow them out, then you're gonna float. You're gonna float back up to the top, and now you're not struggling, you're just allowing yourself to flow. And that's our feminine energy. Okay, so let's go a little bit deeper then. What are we not seeing clearly right now? Okay, Spirit, what's going on behind the scenes this week that we're not really seeing clearly? Okay, Knight of Swords. So this is an energy, this is more air energy, so Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. This is a card of like wanting to rush forward, kind of being aggressive. This is also the throat chakra, so I picked that up right away with Archangel Gabriel this week with all the blue on the card. So yeah, this is a card about like communication. It could be like impulsive communication, wanting to rush forward. But it's not necessarily like a bad energy. It's just like this energy of like kind of like impulsive. So like I was saying, kind of being aware of your internal dialogue, how you choose to communicate, instead of just like impulsively like saying things that you don't mean, like really getting to the root of it and really asking yourself, how can I speak with more love? Because the Lovers is also not just about like relationships, but it's about choosing love. Like if you're at a crossroads and you're choosing between fear or love, it's the Lovers comes up to say choose love, rather than choosing this need to control. That's kind of the Knight of Swords to me, like kind of wanting to rush in, and this might be like, yeah, you just like will want to rush in and like put your 2 cents in, even if it's not necessary. Like wanting to make things happen sooner than they're ready to, like maybe wanting to express your feelings sooner than you feel ready to. So to be really gentle with yourself, and that there's no need to rush forward. There's no need to force or manipulate, because that's kind of like that gaslighting, like manipulation, like, and we unconsciously are doing this to ourselves, like, so like this is just harsh communication. So what I'm picking up on is it's less about necessarily how you're communicating with others and how you're speaking to yourself. Are you being really aggressive towards yourself? Are you being really controlling? This is kind of like a card of force. Like you see even the horse is kind of like, whoa, Nelly, like feeling kind of like he's kind of got this look on his face. And even the knight is like looks very intense. So yeah, it's just like this energy of wanting to rush forward, maybe before things are, it's like, because it's like these 2 contrasting energies. This is like rush and force, and then the emotion guardian is like, or like the water guardian is like saying to go with the flow. So you might feel like really uncomfortable emotions, and this can make you want to like push forward or rush forward. I'm also picking up on like needing to rest, like there's no need to blast forward towards anything, even if like, but also I'm picking up on this energy of like you might be excited maybe in regards to love, or in regards to like a relationship, or you're in regards to like something you're feeling. It's like you're feeling something coming on the horizon, and it can make us get really excited. But when we get excited, we can tend to like rush forward. And this is saying like allow things to unfold organically, allow things to unfold in their own natural time. There's no need to force, there's no need to push, there's no need to like just impulsively act or behave or say things, to really slow down, to slow your roll this week. That's what we're not seeing clearly, is that there might feel like this urgency. That's kind of the word I hear in the energy I'm feeling, like this urgency to maybe express yourself, because it is a night is like, the nights are like messengers, and this is the message of communication because it's the sword. So like, or expressing an idea, or you might feel this urge to like want to express yourself in some sort of way, especially with the voice or with words, or to communicate something in some sort of way. But this is saying that there's no need to rush, like, but you might feel this urgency too. Like, and it might be like you have to discern between fear and love, and like, am I rushing forward because I want to control and I want things to go my way and I want to make sure that, like things are, or am I moving forward and wanting to communicate and express because I'm leading with love? There's two different energies. So like really discerning between fear and love this week. And that's why I think it's so important to connect with our emotions, to make sure that we're communicating, to make sure that we're moving forward from an energy of love rather than from the mind, because also we have to remember that the swords is more than just communication, it's also from the mind. And so it could be like needing to discern between ego and emotions. And so what you really do is, instead of rushing forward in our lives, we're always like trying to get to the next thing. Like, once I get here, then I can relax. Or, once you get off work, then you like are going home, and then I'm going to do the dishes, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And we're always in a rush, I'm in a hurry to get things done a lot. Rushing till life's no fun. All I really gotta do is live and die, but I'm in a hurry and don't know why. That song just came to my head, but so that might be a message for you. But it's like we're always in a hurry, and it's like we need to slow down and really like smell the roses, like take our time. There's like I keep saying, there is no rush. That's what Spirit keeps saying, is there's no rush. And we have this idea that we're always rushing towards the next thing. We're never like happy with just like the here and now. So that's kind of the energy I'm picking up on, is like there's no need to rush. So let's get a clarifier there with the Angels and Ancestors Oracle cards. So what are we not seeing clearly with this Knight of Swords? What is this about, Spirit? Okay, we have Animal Guardian. It says trust your instincts, which I really like this. This is just saying to like, to truly like, to trust yourself, that like there is no rush, and you could be connecting with these certain animals. There's a deer on the card, there's a black panther, there's an owl, and there's a blackbird, and there's also antlers. So you may just be connecting with certain animals or that are helping to guide you during this time, so that you don't feel like this need to rush. It's like, but I'm also picking up on this energy. You might want to rush because you feel like you're going to get left behind, or like, because it's like this wanting to control, but it's saying to trust your instincts, and like you'll know when to make the move is what I'm like. You'll know when to express, you'll know when to communicate your idea or your message or whatever. Like you'll know, and it's important to trust your instincts. So like let your instincts guide you, and guess what your instincts are? Your intuition, your emotions, that knowing that is beyond the mind. So to really trust this, to tap into more to like your primal instincts, to tap into, that inner mother that like really uses her instincts to tend to her children. And what we're doing with reparenting is we're learning to tend to our own inner child, so that we feel more connected, which is like the whole message here, is like feeling more connected, rather than like needing to like control other people's emotions or to control our environment in order to feel safe. Like really tapping into our power center, which would be like our instincts, and really feeling that stability, feeling that inner strength. It's like really relying on this inner strength, and the inner strength doesn't come from force or from manipulation. Inner strength comes from surrender, and that's what this card is really about, is like surrendering to your emotions. And when you surrender to this wisdom, when you surrender to your instincts, then there's this part of you that is operating for you for your highest good. It's leading you to your highest good if you can trust your instincts over your mind, because your mind's going to want to choose fear, your mind's going to want to choose separation, your mind's going to want to choose like judgment and lack and hatred. and fear. So it's really important to trust your instincts as you make these decisions. And like the owl, that represents like your wisdom and your intuition and seeing beyond the surface level, which is totally like our emotions, like I was saying, like digging deeper instead of just being on the surface level, to really go within. And I love that there's a baby fawn, like it's just like this new beginning. You know how like they kind of are wobbly when they're walking? It's like, come into this slow and gentle. There's no need to rush. Like allow yourself to find your footing in your emotions, because being in our emotions, when we're taught to deny our emotions, and then we're tapping back into them as adults, this can be petrifying. This is terrifying. And so it's like, treat yourself with gentle care. Like find your footing. That's what I was seeing, like that kind of wobbly deer. Like allow yourself to come into your emotions. Allow yourself to become stable within your emotions. Like if you're just now learning how to feel really strong and stable in your emotions without being consumed by them, then there's no need to rush. Like allow yourself to enjoy this opportunity, enjoy this time, enjoy your growth. And then the panther is just a sign to me of like strength, but it's also like this mother energy. So I think that's really important. Like I was saying, reparenting ourselves. And then the blackbird is just kind of like a messenger. I don't know, I kind of see that as like shadow. That's kind of what I'm picking up on. So to recognize your shadow, to see yourself from a different perspective, and to not move from your shadow, but to sit with your shadow, which would be like your fears and your doubts and your worries, and like letting them maybe make your body tremble with fear, but when you're in that moment, to like hold yourself and to stop and take a few minutes instead of rushing forward through your life, to slow down and to care for yourself and tend to yourself like you would like a new little born baby, and to trust that part of yourself that uses its senses, not just its mind, to understand what to do next. Like, because I'm kind of picking up on like a crossroads right here at the Lovers. Like there's this choice that needs to be made. Like, am I going to listen to my emotions? Am I going to listen to the wisdom of my soul? Or am I going to listen to my mind and my fears and my conditioning? And really getting still enough and connecting with your emotions enough to trust your instincts to move forward. Okay, I like that. So what is your advice for us, Spirit? What is your advice for us this week? Remember to listen to your intuition above all else. What is your advice for us this week? Okay, too many fell out. Okay, yeah, too many fell out. Let's just do one, Spirit. Alright, what is your advice for us this week? Okay, we have the Eight of Wands. This is another card with a lot of blue on it, so I'm picking up strongly on the throat chakra, and this is about communication. This is like, but this is also rapid movement forward. This is like your energy aligning really quickly, things moving really quickly. You can see things that are, like this is, I'm hearing actually up in the air, so there might be a lot of things that are up in the air. They're like nothing's set in stone. That's another thing I hear. And this can make us want to be like really controlling, which is like very Knight of Swords, like wanting to rush forward because we want to know, like the mind wants to know. But what I'm picking up strongly, especially with the Water Guardian and the feminine energy, is to embrace the uncertainty, to find the mystery, to be intrigued and mystified by the unknown rather than be scared of the unknown. Because when we project, like the unknown is not full of fear. The unknown is full of peace. The unknown is full of trust. The unknown is full of like opportunity. The unknown is filled with like so much beauty and all this. That's what the unknown is filled with. But because the ego, the mind, the physical mind cannot foresee the unknown, it tries to project past fears, past pains onto the unknown as a way to give it some kind of like comprehension so that it understands, but the mind just doesn't know. So you have to be in this mystery. It's like getting back to that inner child, that wonder, that excitement of not knowing what's coming next, and rather than being scared, being intrigued by the unknown. So things are aligning quickly. This is the number 8. So 8 I always see also as like a number of like wholeness, like the Lovers, like the infinity symbol. So that might be a number for you. You might be seeing 888 a lot. And that's also a number of abundance. Like things are aligning quickly is what I'm hearing. It's like the more you focus on love, or the more you choose love, the more things are aligning for you. So this, yeah, like I said, this could be rapid communication, like something like a message coming in. So I feel like strongly communication is this week. It's like how we communicate with ourselves, or wanting to communicate our love. Like I was saying, like turning your expressions, creating your, like feeling your emotions, because the only way we can heal our emotions is if we feel them. But the greatest part about feeling your emotions is the creative process. Like, you can turn them into art, you can turn them into beauty, and you can transmute that negative emotion into light, into art, into education, or whatever, you know, and really using your emotions to educate you. They're like, you are your greatest teacher. Your emotions are your greatest teacher. Your emotions are your healer. Your emotions are your guru. And we've been told to look outside of ourselves for so long to learn and to educate ourselves, but really we are our greatest teacher. So it's like we really are returning to that part of us that know, because only we know what's best for our bodies, minds, and souls. So when we really connect to that part of ourselves and really get to know ourselves on a deeper level, then we can provide that for ourselves, which would be like our masculine energy. Okay, lastly, what is your advice here with this Eight of Wands, Spirit? Ooh, I love it, yes. I was just speaking of teacher being your greatest teacher. This is called Great Teacher, and it says learn from spiritual experiences. And I love the dove on the card, and this is supposed to be like a representation of Jesus. So you may be working closely with Jesus as your ascended master. And the dove represents like peace to me, and it represents renewal. So yeah, it's just like, as you learn from these experiences, like I was saying, like, your emotions are your greatest teacher, and great teacher, literally, came out. So really, like, you are your greatest teacher, and as you listen to those emotions, we're really connecting to that part of us that is like Christ, because he is eternal, right? He came to teach us about eternal life. And what we're really focusing on is that when we connect to our emotions, we're connecting to the part of us that is eternal, because the stuff that's here on this earth, like the outside, our physical bodies, all of it's temporary. And so what we're really learning how to do is to love unconditionally, to choose love in every moment. And that when we do that, then like we're aligning, which would be this, we're aligning with our highest self. We're aligning with love. And as we align with love, things move a lot more rapidly. They move a lot more fluidly. They, you know, like your energy doesn't become as stuck because you're choosing love. Like you're choosing, because love is the only thing that's real. Everything else is an illusion, which can be kind of hard, because when you're deeply immersed in like a lot of pain, or you're having a lot of fear, or you're having a lot of anxiety, it can feel very real. But it's an illusion in the mind. So we're reconnecting with love, which is our eternal soul. And that creates like a sense of wholeness within ourselves. And yeah, underneath the deck here, on the tarot deck, was Five of Cups. So here's more emotions. This is like grief, loss, sadness, remorse, you know, like feeling very... There's a lot of emotions this week. So if you're feeling emotional, be gentle with yourself. Please be kind with yourself. Do not beat yourself up. So I'm going to pull one last overall message from the Chakra Insights to see what Spirit has to say for us this week. One last message, Spirit. Okay, we have Sacral Chakra, also number 8 again. So I love that. 8 came up again. I love the Sacral Chakra. And this is because I've been talking a lot of the time of like creation, and that's what the Sacral Chakra is. It's creation, and really tapping into that part of ourselves that is abundant and eternal. To me, that's what the Sacral Chakra is about. Okay, so I'll read this to you. Within a circle of 6 lotus petals rests a crescent moon. The moon faces upward as a chalice, carrying with it the tidal waters of emotional balance, pleasure, and empathy. And it's perfect because the Sacral Chakra, the element of this chakra is water. So, and we were picking up with that strongly, obviously. The Sacral Chakra are said to contain our unconscious desires and emotions which can easily sweep us away in the pursuit of elusive pleasures, consuming much of our time and energy on a daily basis. When the chakra is in balance, it offers the gifts of conception, creativity, connection, and the energy of change and harmony. I love that. Card message, it says, located in the lower abdomen between the navel and the genitals is the energy center of our sacral chakra. Connected to our sciatic nerve and often referred to as the seat of life, our sacral chakra is our focal point of change, emotional connection, pleasure, and balance, this is emotional connection, and this is balance. Within the element of water and the gifts of yin and yang, We balance between our masculine and feminine energies, and we come home to our natural expression of sexuality and sensuality. This card is an invitation to pursue genuine connection in relationships. No way. To allow yourself to be open and sharing with the deeper aspects of your being, to develop trust and acceptance, and to honor the beauty and sacred within your intimate relationships. If we block the energy of our sacral chakra, we block the flow of pleasure, abundance, and creativity in our life. We become closed, brittle, and stagnant. We develop unhealthy cravings and desires. But with the balance of the sacral chakra, we are able to move harmoniously with the ebbs and flows of life. Our being becomes fluid, and we smoothly progress on the journey of life, enjoying blissful moments and taking challenges in our stride. We let go of the need to control. That's what we're doing. We're learning how to let go of the need of control. That's what we're not seeing clearly. When we let go of the need to control life and just go with the flow, know that you deserve pleasure and abundance in your life. Begin with a basic connection to your senses and allow yourself to explore simple pleasure, creative expression, and intimate connection as a doorway into a more rich experience in your world. And the affirmations for this say, I honor my body. I gratefully accept pleasure and abundance. I honor and express my sexuality. I welcome happy and fulfilling relationships into my life. I deserve and experience good things in my life. Which I feel is perfect for this. That was like all the messages in one with this reading. So I hope that was helpful to you. Another thing with this card here with Jesus has really helped me heal my sexuality and to really return to that innocence. Because to me, like, I feel the most like sexual, the most connected to my creativity when I'm in my innocent energy. And a lot of us can we weren't really taught to explore our sexual energy or our sensuality. This has kind of been shamed and shunned. And Jesus really helps you to explore that energy in a safe way. He makes you feel very comfortable. He makes you feel very connected and protected. He gives you this sense of protection as you explore your more sensual and sexual side, which we can often have a lot of shame around, and that can bring up a lot of emotion. So really call upon him if you ever need him. You can just imagine his energy surrounding you, and however you connect to him is perfect for you. So I just love this energy, and the wands could represent fire energy, so this is more of our sexual energy. So I think that's really important as we connect, because we want more intimate relationships with other people, deeper relationships. We really need to connect to that part of ourselves on a deeper level. And yeah, I hope this was helpful for you. I hope it was healing for you. I do private readings, so if you would like to book one with me, you can definitely contact me. I'll leave my information below, and I'm sending you so much love, and I'll be back next time. Thank you for listening. Take care.